less than an hour away from the kickoff of Berwick Bulldogs football on Pop Radio. Streaming online at thisispopradio.com. Brought to you by
Mason's Monogramming, overhead door of Berwick, Mayo Funeral Home, State Farm, Sean Black and Lori Powell, First Keystone Bank, Red's Roofing, Neighbor Fence Company, Wolfie's Automotive, ND Accounting and Consulting, J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling of Berwick, Master Tech Automotive Services, Eco First Logistics, Ken Pollock, Journey Bank, Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg, Alexander GMC of Hazleton, Papa Lou's Place, The Compression Shop, Cardinal Estate Planning, Chapin Oil, and Mark Nespoli of eXp Realty.
It's time for the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here is Jim Doyle.
Well, tonight the Bulldogs are on the road to take on the Cougars of Hazleton area here at Harmon Guy Stadium. Dogs now 3-0 for the first time since the 2019 season after last Friday's 33-12 win over Lackawanna Trail at Crispin Field. CJ, last Friday night, you took a gamble on your team's first possession. You went for it on 4th and 2 from your own 41-yard line. It paid off. Ty Wilkerson got the first down and then some on what turned out to be a scoring drive. But explain your thought process going for it that early.
Yeah, for sure. I thought that we were moving the ball effectively in those first couple plays. And, 4th and 2, we thought that if we could get that first down and build the momentum, it would kind of set the tone for the game. And credit to Tymir, because we didn't necessarily block that play up well. And he was met close to the first down. It might not have been a first down if he's not able to break a couple tackles. And so, credit to him for just his drive to continue to gain extra yards. He broke a couple tackles, ended up, getting it by quite a few. But really, we just wanted to set the tone for the football game and try to gain some momentum. Obviously, it was in our territory, but, we felt that we could run the football, and we wanted to prove it on that fourth down right there.
You wondered what Ty Wilkerson would do for an encore after the tremendous junior season he had, but he passes the eye test. He's a better running back than he was. I thought of him last year as just a speedster. If he got a step, he was gone. But now he's got all kinds of moves, doesn't he?
For sure. And credit to his training in the offseason and really understanding that he needed to get better with his agility and with his vision. And I think that the one thing, I'll tell a quick story. Ty and I were down at James Madison University for a spring practice. And, Ty was getting recruited and he was picking up Division I and 1AA offers. And so we went down there. We drove 8 hours with the thoughts that maybe he was going to get another one. And so, as we got there, we watched practice and we went over to the running backs coach after the practice. And Ty said to him, "Hey, coach, kind of where do you see me? Can you evaluate my film?" And the running backs coach gave him some very good constructive criticism, which Ty hasn't heard before. And he said, Ty, we grade running backs from 1 to the 5 being the best, and I have you as a 2 right now. I think that you're, as you just said, Jim, I think that you got great breakaway speed, and once you get the edge, you can be gone, but you really need to play with a lower pad level. You need to be able to have better agility, better vision. And so Ty took that, and he said, "Man, coach," as we were walking out, he said, "I want to get back to work right now and really focus on those things." And so, to his credit, he's really done a great job in just trying to get better at what running backs need to be good at to be successful and to really be, all state caliber type guys.
Well, it was a great rushing game for your team as usual on Friday night, but the first touchdown came on a pass, 32 yards from Brady Cleaver to Alex Estrella. What made that go?
That was awesome. You first look at the route from Alex Estrella, and we broke it down when we watched film this past Monday, and they were playing a true cover 3, and their corner was playing 7 yards off, and you would think there's really usually no opportunity for a corner to ever get for a wide receiver, to ever run a vertical route on a corner who's playing bail cover 3, playing 7 yards back to start. But Alex does a great job in just trying to attack hips and just try to gain angles on cornerbacks. So Alex on a vertical route, he broke the route in, got the cornerback to flip his hips, and then immediately came back to the outside. Cleaver, to his credit, that was the concept and the read on the route where it was a play action. We got guys to move a little bit with the play action, and we'd read that thing deep, middle, and short. If you have heat, go right to your flat. So he had his flat wide open, but he saw Alex with an opportunity for a big play and a touchdown. He got the thing out on time. Great ball, great catch in traffic with Alex, and just a really great thing to see our pass offense get going on that one a little bit.
I have to constantly remind myself that Brady Cleaver is a 9th grader. Besides all his physical skills, he had the long touchdown run and so on, the pass we just talked about. But fourth quarter, you have the lead. You want to run the clock. And there he is under center, staring up at that play clock, looking like someone who plays on Sundays.
No doubt, no doubt. Like you just said, I sometimes have to remind myself that he's a freshman as well. He's done such a good job in getting a little bit more and more on his plate each week. He's a brilliant kid. He's got a great football mind. And like you just said, those intangible things, he looks like a quarterback. He acts like a quarterback. He's beginning to gain a little bit of confidence. And he knows now, he has a big game under his belt. He's able to win a pretty big game against a good quality opponent. So I could only see him, getting better and better as this season goes on. But, truly just impressed with his character and just doing all the things that a quarterback has to do. It's very impressive for a 15-year-old.
Whenever a team has 300-plus yards rushing, it's a tribute to the running backs, obviously, and Ty had 237 of those yards. But it's also a tribute to the O-line. They must be playing well.
Absolutely. They're playing out of their minds right now, and they got to continue to get better. We talk to our guys every day almost, and it's that you can't get complacent because, at this, you get a couple good wins. We call it our payback tour. So our first 4 that we dropped last year, really important that we were able to take it week by week and day by day. And our guys are bought into that. Our guys are bought in on communicating with each other and making sure that they're just being physical and dominating the trenches because, that's what we've trained all offseason for, especially considering all those guys are 4 out of the 5 of them, I should say, on that starting O-line, and then Nico as well, who's in there is in our 1,000-pound club. So we really have strength, and so now it's just the attitude and the determination to go dominant. So those guys have been playing really well, and there's still some work that we could do. As we watch it on film, we probably left a couple touchdowns on the field with just poorly executed blocking schemes and guys not staying on block. So as they continue to get better throughout the season, I expect them to only improve as well.
Well, up next, CJ will evaluate his team's defensive effort against Lackawanna Trail last Friday. You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio.
Hey guys, this is Ray.
Chad. And Chad! You're up and up. Chad!
So anyway, we're having too much fun here, like you will too if you go to buy a car. We can't even finish a commercial, but if you want a great deal, go to blazegmhazelton.com.
Yeah. On a more serious note, remember we have the lowest price guaranteed.
Or we'll give you $1,000.
We've all been there, faced with a physical setback. Whether you've suffered a sports injury that takes you out of the game, or your aches and pains are keeping you from doing what you love, we all want the same thing, to get your life back. Thankfully, you can trust the region's only nationally ranked orthopedic team to help get you there. At Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, we turn setbacks into comebacks, one movement at a time. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Comebacks begin here.
Hey, hometown fans. You know Journey Bank as your trusted local bank. But did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes competing under the Friday night lights, to students excelling in the classroom, to talented teen stars singing center stage, we're investing in the future of our young people. At Journey Bank, we're committed to helping our kids score big in every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
Are your appliances feeling a little bit outdated? You're looking for the best deals in town? Well, look no further than Flick Brothers Electric, your go-to family-owned appliance paradise. Flick Brothers Electric has all the top-notch name-brand appliances you could ever dream of. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, microwave stoves. They even give free estimates on Fujitsu ductless air conditioner heat pump units. Flick Brothers Electric on Maple Lane, keeping Bloomsburg cool, clean, and cooking for over 65 years. Call them at 570-784-3444.
Beginning your college search? Start with Bloomsburg by registering for a fall open house. Visit campus and see how Commonwealth University Bloomsburg can take you onward and upward. When you attend an open house, you can explore the Bloomsburg campus with a guided tour, learn about the application, admission, and scholarship process, plus meet faculty, staff, and current students to explore academic programs and student activities. Register for the Bloomsburg open house on Saturday, September 27th at commonwealthu.edu/visit Bloomsburg.
We've all been there, faced with a physical setback. Whether you've suffered a sports injury that takes you out of the game, or your aches and pains are keeping you from doing what you love, we all want the same thing, to get your life back. Thankfully, you can trust the region's only nationally ranked orthopedic team to help get you there. At Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, we turn setbacks into comebacks, one movement at a time. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Comebacks begin here.
You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here with the coach of the Berwick Bulldogs is Jim Doyle.
The 32nd meeting tonight between Berwick and Hazleton area here at Harmon Guy Stadium in Hazleton. The Dogs are 3-0 on this season. Cougars are 1-2, but coming off a 40-0 win over West Scranton after 2 losses to unbeaten 6A teams in Nazareth and Williamsport. Berwick's defense turned in another solid performance against Lackawanna Trail last Friday, holding the Lions, a team that averages over 30 points a game, to just 12. CJ, I thought your team's defense, particularly your front 5, dominated the line of scrimmage in that second half. Scheme adjustment or just playing harder, or both?
Just playing harder, Jim. We really didn't do much with our scheme changing in that second half, but our guys understood all week that, it was going to be the same stuff that we saw, the same stuff and just slightly different formations. And they knew, the pullers in that wing T offense were going to take you to where the ball goes. We knew that we had to disrupt that offensive line and their pulling schemes. And so, our guys, our front 5, they played unbelievably tough. Everett, JJ, Matt, Skyler, and Gabe Decker, they did an unbelievable job. And our linebackers were able to just stay consistent, stay disciplined, make great reads, and when it needed to happen, our defensive backs kind of cleaned it up a little bit. And so, just very proud of their performance and their physicality.
Lackawanna Trail's Isaac Ryan might be the best running back you're going to face all season, although you're going to face a good one tonight as well. He had 3 long runs, one for a 67-yard touchdown, but on 12 of his 15 carries, he averaged only 3 yards. So overall, how would you evaluate how your team did against him?
Very well, very well. Like you just said, those 12 carries for less than 3 yards, it's something that he wasn't used to and that they weren't used to getting stopped. And so we kind of factored in that, Isaac was probably going to break one at some point. He's just such a gifted athlete, such a naturally talented back that he was probably going to get one. We wish it wasn't probably on that first possession, but, we kind of figured that was going to happen at some point. And the kid's an incredibly good running back. He'll probably be all-state again, and hopefully he goes and can play in college somewhere. But just the consistency that we played with on defense and making sure that we could tackle. We had 13 missed tackles, which wasn't great, so obviously have to continue to improve on that. But I was proud of their performance for how they just kept grinding and staying true to our scheme.
You used the words all-state. That might apply before the season's done to J.J. Leonard, your two-way lineman. Last week on defense, 10 total tackles, 5 tackles for loss. He's playing at a high level, isn't he?
Absolutely. And nobody worked harder than J.J. Leonard did this offseason. And I think that's something that all of our team is going to look at and see. He had a good season last year, but he really flipped the switch this offseason. And now I believe that he's an elite player. And so just the things that he's doing defensively, how strong, quick, his football IQ, his knowledge, and just his physicality. And the thing about J.J. is he's never satisfied, which is awesome. So he came in on Saturday morning ready to get back to work. So, hey, Coach, we have a huge one this Friday night. I can't wait. Let's start to watch film on him right now. He could care less about whatever it was that his statistics and individual stuff. He really cares about this team. So that just goes to show how great of a kid Jay is.
Will you share with me on a week-to-week basis your defensive stats for a given game? And I've put together the totals for 3 games into this season. What impresses me is you've got 8 different players with double-digit tackles. And that's really impressive.
Absolutely. Yeah. All effort. And, our guys, we want to coach them to play fast, physical, and relentless on defense. And so, our guys truly don't care about who gets the credit. And they know if they do their 111th on defense, that the play is going to come their way and they just have to make it. So our guys have done a great job, and everybody just getting helmets to the football, being physical, playing fast, being relentless. And, I can see us continuing to improve in that too.
Well, tonight the Bulldogs renew their rivalry with Hazleton area. Later in the show, CJ will tell us about the Cougars. But up next, it's the Bulldog Spotlight feature. You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio.
Hey guys, this is Ray.
Chad. And
Chad! You're up and up. Chad!
So anyway, we're having too much fun here, like you will too if you go to buy a car. We can't even finish a commercial, but if you want a great deal, go to blazegmhazleton.com.
Yeah. On a more serious note, remember, we have the lowest price guaranteed.
Or we'll give you $1,000.
Are your appliances feeling a little bit outdated? You're looking for the best deals in town? Well, look no further than Flick Brothers Electric, your go-to family-owned appliance paradise. Flick Brothers Electric has all the top-notch name-brand appliances you could ever dream of. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, microwave stoves. They even give free estimates on Fujitsu ductless air conditioner heat pump units. Flick Brothers Electric on Maple Lane, keeping Bloomsburg cool, clean, and cooking for over 65 years. Call them at 570-784-3444.
Hey, hometown fans. You know Journey Bank as your trusted local bank. But did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes competing under the Friday night lights, to students excelling in the classroom, to talented teen stars singing center stage, we're investing in the future of our young people. At Journey Bank, we're committed to helping our kids score big in every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
Planning for the future doesn't have to be complicated. Attorney Nick Lutz of Cardinal Estate Planning in Berwick will guide you every step of the way. Whether it's protecting your assets, setting up a trust, or ensuring your family is cared for, Cardinal Estate Planning provides personalized solutions for you and your family's needs. Call or sign up on their website to attend a free educational workshop that will give you an understanding of the process and peace of mind knowing your legacy is in good hands. Visit them online at cardinalastate.planning.com. Let them help you plan for tomorrow today.
You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here with the coach of the Berwick Bulldogs is Jim Doyle.
Dedicated in 1939, Harmon Guy Stadium in Hazleton is the venue for tonight's Week 4 matchup with the unbeaten Bulldogs taking on the Cougars of Hazleton area. In our next segment, CJ will tell us about the Cougars, but now it's time for our weekly feature, Bulldog Spotlight. Tonight, the spotlight is on senior Everett Snyder. At 5'11", 220 pounds, Everett is listed as a linebacker on defense, but he's been playing a lot of nose guard when the Bulldogs go to a five-man front. Against Lackawanna Trail last Friday, he was outstanding, recording 10 tackles, including 4 tackles for a loss. CJ, what did he do so well last Friday?
Everett's just an incredibly tough, smart, tenacious football player. He's the lifeblood of our team. I mean, this guy's hilarious. The locker room absolutely loves him, but when he gets on the field, he's an absolute beast. You know, he's in an attack mindset, and he's just so quick off the ball. And I think that's the great thing, matching him up against the center. You know, it's like how my grandfather used to always want the smaller wrestler-type guys to just beat nose guards or beat, as a nose guard, beating centers off the ball quickly, and Everett kind of gives us some of that now. He's incredibly quick. He's incredibly strong, pound for pound, probably one of the strongest guys on our football team. And you know, he's paid the price in getting to this opportunity to be dominant on defense. And so, you know, as a linebacker, he's very good, but we noticed, and it was actually a play that he made against Crestwood a couple years ago. He was in as a sophomore. It was a rainy game in Crestwood. I wasn't even coaching at the time in Berwick, but I saw it on film, and he beat the center off the ball 2 plays in a row. So as we wanted to kind of transition more to a 50 this year and just try to get, you know, a different look at nose guard, Ev started to play out of his mind, and he's done a really, really great job there. But he just works so hard and has worked so hard to get better, even through the first 3 weeks. You know, we had a couple missed tackles. Week 1 against Lake Lehman at nose guard, and he came off and said, it's different trying to make plays there as opposed to playing linebacker where you can scrape down and kind of see things happening, but, you know, to get off a block at the D-line position and do it. But that's just good. I mean, he had 10 tackles this past Friday night, and it just goes to show how quick that he can learn.
Nothing starts for the opposing offense until the center snapped to the quarterback. I would think if you have a player making life miserable for the opposing center, that's got to be a great advantage.
Absolutely, for sure. It makes it a long night for any offense, and we always have to prepare for, you know, teams that play that odd front with somebody over our center as well. So Ev does a great job doing that, and also at fullback on offense, he's been incredible.
Yeah, talk about his physical attributes.
Absolutely. And last year, you know, Ev went through some injury stuff with his ankle, and, you know, he wasn't getting great blocks on guys, so we kind of were playing with a couple different fullbacks. But this offseason, just to show his strength and his confidence, and, you know, being coached up by Jordan Stout, who was a great fullback for us, you know, back in our last run, the 2013-14 season. Jordan's done a great job with Everett and just getting him right in his blocking attacks and scheming and aiming points. And so just Ev's physicality is just out of this world. You know, he's truly incredibly tough, tenacious football player. And at fullback, he's getting really a lot better with his angles to go block people and staying on blocks. And when he's out there, he knows, he has one carry so far on the season, but he'll do anything that he can to help our football team. And that's being a great blocker for us on offense.
The Berwick program owes a lot to the Snyder family, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And one thing that we will say that we said we wanted to bring back when I came to coach here is put one of our toughest guys at 99. And boy, has he lived up to that expectation so far. But the Snyders are an unbelievable family. Harrison playing college football, and Henry, the youngest one, playing center, and there's Everett, who's been, just a staple of our team all throughout.
In the Bulldog Spotlight tonight, senior Everett Snyder. Tonight, Everett and his Bulldog teammates are on the road to take on Hazleton area. Up next, CJ will tell us about the Cougars' offense. You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio.
Jim Doyle and the Berwick Bulldogs head coach CJ Curry. Brought to you by
Mason's Monogramming, overhead door of Berwick, Mayo Funeral Home, State Farm, Sean Black and Lori Powell, First Keystone Bank, Red's Roofing, Neighbor Fence Company, Wolfie's Automotive, ND Accounting and Consulting, J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling of Berwick, Master Tech Automotive Services, Eco First Logistics, Ken Pollock, Journey Bank, Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg, Alexander GMC of Hazleton, Papa Lou's Place, The Compression Shop, Cardinal Estate Planning, Chapin Oil, and Mark Nespoli of eXp Realty.
You'll only find the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio and streaming online at thisispopradio.com.
We've all been there, faced with a physical setback. Whether you've suffered a sports injury that takes you out of the game or your aches and pains are keeping you from doing what you love, we all want the same thing, to get your life back. Thankfully, you can trust the region's only nationally ranked orthopedic team to help get you there. At Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, we turn setbacks into comebacks, one movement at a time. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Comebacks begin here.
Planning for the future doesn't have to be complicated. Attorney Nick Lutz of Cardinal Estate Planning in Berwick will guide you every step of the way. Whether it's protecting your assets, setting up a trust, or ensuring your family is cared for, Cardinal Estate Planning provides personalized solutions for you and your family's needs. Call or sign up on their website to attend a free educational workshop that will give you an understanding of the process and peace of mind knowing your legacy is in good hands. Visit them online at cardinalastate.planning.com. Let them help you plan for tomorrow today.
You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here with the coach of the Berwick Bulldogs is Jim Doyle.
Last season at Crispin Field, Hazleton area beat the Bulldogs 27-10. Tonight the teams meet here at Harmon Guy Stadium in Hazleton. While the Dogs are unbeaten at 3-0, Cougars are 1-2, but their losses have been to two unbeaten 6A schools in Nazareth and Williamsport. And they're coming off their first win, 40-0 over West Grant last Friday. CJ, through 3 games, the Cougars have thrown the ball more than any other of your opponents to date. Do you think that's what they want to do, or is it just that they were playing behind against Nazareth and Williamsport?
Well, I'll tell you what, you could throw records out the window for this week, because when it's a rivalry game, the records, it just doesn't matter. And we know that they're going to probably play one of their best games of the season against us. They're going to be playing tonight with a sky-high confidence because of their 40-0 win. And when you look at their quarterback to start, 6'5", 180, he's a Penn State commit to play baseball, and he could sling the thing. And so they have a great core of wide receivers, a great quarterback. So I believe that they're going to try to throw the ball for sure. But I'm also very impressed with the running back, Xavier Heck, who, against Williamsport had some great runs and then really kind of came onto the scene, burst onto the scene against West Grant. And as he rushed for, I think, close to 230, 240 yards as well last week. And so, tough back, very athletic, agile, has great vision, and he runs hard as well. So I expect a little bit of both. And, it's funny watching these guys on tape. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. As I'm seeing all 3 games, they run some wing T as well. So we were thinking, I couldn't believe it. Our guys were like, there's no way we're seeing wing T twice in a row. So good thing, we were able to see that last week. So we're going to be prepared for that tonight. But I think that they're going to do a little bit of everything.
You mentioned the quarterback. He is Freddie Corrado. This is his first year as a full-time starter, but he saw a lot of action as a 9th grader And last year he started some as a sophomore. So he's got experience in addition to that great size.
Absolutely. And he's great when he has time. He gets the ball out. He gets the ball out effectively, and he's not afraid to run either. And so, they do a lot of rollout stuff with him. He's got a monster arm, and he's able to complete passes. And like we said, we can't let receivers get beyond us because he can get the thing 70 yards in the air, if he wants to. But he's tough to bring down with his big frame. He breaks a lot of tackles in the pocket, keeps plays alive. And so, we're going to have to generate pressure tonight with our front four, and our DBs have to be locked in to play great defense.
For the second week in a row, you're facing a very good running back. You referred to him earlier, Xavier Heck. Now, Isaac Ryan of Lackawanna Trail was a strong kid, a fast kid. Xavier's listed as 5'9", 154, so how does he get it done?
He plays very similar to how Isaac plays. As we watched him on tape, and although he's about 25 pounds lighter than Isaac, he runs just as hard as him. He runs like he is 185. He's not afraid to put his shoulder down, but what I'm really impressed with about Xavier is his ability to just have one cut and go. With his one cut ability, he runs in between the tackles, he runs outside the tackles. They really like to get him going on swings and flares in the pass game, on wheels in the pass game, and we just have to be prepared for where 20 is on the field at all times.
Their offensive line has decent size, tackle to tackle, averaging 248. How good are they?
Very good, very good. And they have some returning starters. They have some different schemes in their running that we haven't really seen a lot of yet. And so just being able to once again dominate the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be tough against these guys. They play hard, they play physical, and once they get on blocks, they stay on blocks.
Up next, CJ will evaluate Hazleton area's defense. You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio.
Buying or selling a home isn't just about real estate. It's about community, trust, and finding the right fit for your future. And nobody knows Berwick like Mark Nespoli with eXp Realty. Mark's your neighbor, rooted right in Berwick, with a passion for helping people find their perfect home, which is why he's also a top producing agent nationwide. So when it's time for your next move, choose the agent who knows the Berwick market and the community inside and out. Mark Nespoli, eXp Realty. Visit the570realtor.com or visit @Mark Nespoli on Facebook. Mark Nespoli, Berwick's hometown realtor.
We've all been there, faced with a physical setback. Whether you've suffered a sports injury that takes you out of the game, or your aches and pains are keeping you from doing what you love, we all want the same thing, to get your life back. Thankfully, you can trust the region's only nationally ranked orthopedic team to help get you there. At Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, we turn setbacks into comebacks, one movement at a time. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Comebacks begin here.
Chapin Oil in Escapec has been keeping your families warm and comfortable for generations. But Chapin Oil is much more than just heating oil. You'll also find a full-service gas station with ethanol-free fuel, plus a cozy coffee shop serving up the best lattes and espresso, and fresh-baked treats and donuts every day. Stop by, grab a treat, and say hello to your friends at Chapin Oil in Escapec, proud supporters of the Berwick Bulldogs.
You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here with the coach of the Berwick Bulldogs is Jim Doyle.
Weekend number 4 of the 2025 high school football season kicks off tonight. Here at Harmon Guy Stadium in Hazleton, it's the Bulldogs against the Cougars of Hazleton area. CJ, Scott Sacco's in his first season as the head coach at Hazleton area. He lists his team's base defense as a 4-4. From what you've seen, is that what you expect to see most of this game?
Yeah, I believe that we'll see a 4-4. They played a little bit of a 3-5 against Williamsport as well, so I could see anything from a 4-4 and a lot of blitzing, a lot of man, which is what they did against West Grayton tonight. But I could also see them walking those outside backers up in their 3-5 scheme and making it look kind of like a 5-3, similar to how Mid-Valley played us a few weeks ago to stop our running. So, truly I believe that they're going to try to play man. They're going to blitz us a ton and dare us to throw the football because still, we really aren't proven in throwing the football. So our offensive line has had a great week of communicating and making sure we can identify, pick up blitz, still be able to hopefully run the football effectively tonight, but also to try to get our pass game going a little bit and try to take advantage of some of the man concepts that we're going to see.
When I talked to Coach Sacco this summer at the Wyoming Valley Conference Media Day, He thought his team's speed would be an asset. Do you see that?
Absolutely. They have a ton of guys who are very fast. When you have a 6A school, and that's the thing that we talked to our team about this week. You go from playing a small 1A school to a large 6A school, one of the biggest districts in the state, and understanding that their team speed is going to be very different than what we saw this past Friday. So just trying to replicate that in practice all week with some of our guys and trying to get good on good as much as possible to see, a bigger school with a lot of speed, and it's going to be totally different game plan, like you said, but them trying to throw the ball a ton on us, we think, and so it should be fun to get out there against these guys.
As far as personnel on defense is concerned, Xavier Heck was terrific last year as a 9th grader at safety spot. He's back there, and I asked Coach Sacco for perhaps his best defender. He thought it might be their middle linebacker, number 44, Sam Heller. Does he stick out to you?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's 3 guys that really popped out on tape to me, and that's 53, Joel Vasquez, a defensive tackle, defensive end, plays with a very high motor, very physical. Sam makes a ton of plays at backer, whether he's blitzing or whether he's just reading and getting to a ball carrier, a sure tackler, looks like a very smart football player. And then, Xavier playing free safety, had a pick 6 against us last year, and, it was like watching it all again over on tape this past week when we watched him against West Street, and he had a pick 6 last week as well. So have to make sure we know where he is on the field, but a very capable player on both sides of the ball as well.
You're calling it a payback tour. I call it the revenge tour, whatever the case may be. This is the 4th team in a row that you played that beat your team last year. And I guess that helps in the motivation department. Kids might say, well, they're 1 and 2. Yeah, well, remember last year.
Absolutely. That's what we talk about all the time. And historically, these past probably 10 seasons, Hazleton's had a ton of success against us. I don't know the exact number, but it's something like Berwick's 1 and 5, maybe 2 and 5 in the past 6 or 7 years against Hazleton. And so our guys know that these guys play us very tough. A rivalry, throw the records out the window, and we're really hoping to just come out and continue to dominate. We try to do all the little things right during the week and try to go 1-0 every single day. Bill Belichick had a quote that said practice execution equals game readiness. And so, as you execute in practice, you just hope to turn it over into Friday, and hopefully, tonight we'll be able to execute on the field as well.
Well, CJ, thanks for your time, and good luck in keeping this payback tour going.
Thank you very much, Jim. We hope so, too.
Join us again next Friday for another edition of the CJ Curry Show prior to the Bulldogs game at Hanover area. Stay tuned now for Berwick at Hazleton area football here on Pop Radio.